Hello everyone, and welcome to Downhaven Entertainment. Today we will be reviewing Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Captain America. Holy crap, Cap. Not too shabby. I'm just gonna say here that the first Captain America movie is alright. Not that good, B- material. Wasn't that great, but was redeemable. The story was kind of messy, the action was laughable, and the villain had potential, but turned out to be one-dimensional. The first Captain America movie was to get the Avengers movie ball rolling. But I always thought that this was a misstep in my opinion. I thought it'd be cool if we just get to see Captain America in the Avengers and we get to know more about him in his solo movies. Either he learns about his past from having amnesia, or the audience finds out more about him as the story progresses. But this is what we have. A subpar Captain America movie to Captain America, the Winter Soldier. How was this flick? Well, let's get into the movie. Now let's talk about what worked for the movie. The characters. Captain America, Black Widow, the Winter Soldier, Falcon, Nick Fury, all of them. Look, I could go on. All of these characters were fleshed out well enough to where I was invested in all of these characters and wanted to see more of them. And these characters interacted with each other beautifully in this movie. Captain America is all about old school heroism, old school American dream, the old school ideals about freedom of the people. All while Nick Fury comes from a different, modern, cynical viewpoint on how the world is and what freedom means. These two clashed head to head respectively, and both parties learn something about each other's ideals of what they are. That's interesting. Black Widow was all about espionage, using your head before muscle. She wasn't about the explosion and all the pointless ego fighting, and Captain America learned a thing or two about how she operates. Captain America and Falcon have a great relationship built up in this movie. I love this guy, he was awesome. He was something Captain America could trust based off his character as a person. Because man, the whole trust thing was persistent in this movie. The tension was high. I myself didn't know who to trust. I myself didn't know who to trust as a protagonist or antagonist. Even though honestly I knew at the back of my head what was going to be the outcome, it was just written so well, I couldn't help but be invested in this movie. The villain. Let's get this out of the way. The Winter Soldier is not the main villain here. Though the trailer makes it where it looks that way, it isn't. The villain is bigger than the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier is but a puzzle to a bigger picture, and I absolutely love that. There is something sinister creeping into an organization that is causing mistrust among our protagonists. Heck, the whole world. I would have just called this movie Captain America, It's Going Down, or Captain America, Screw America, Let's Get Real.
Those movie titles are awful.
Yeah, the villainous organization goes about it in an awful way. They do make a point. A sign of a great villain as a character is great motivation to where you can see where the villain is coming from, even though we are still siding with the heroes. It's always great to have some gray area in the movie that'll make you think. This movie has something to say about power and how it could be corrupted, how something that starts off good could be used for bad. How is that power being used? Does that power you have take away people's freedom? Should freedom be sacrificed for security? Or vice versa? How could you know that that power could never be corrupted? That makes great stories. And if you're a deep thinker, I think you would take this into an account from this movie. Superb job. But for the Winter Soldier himself, he was pretty cool. He was fast, agile, smart, and was pretty much an equal to Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon. He wasn't easily disposed of like the Thor the Dark World villain or Loki in the Avengers. This guy was hardcore throughout the whole movie. And I also love me some silent characters. They're not there for one-liners or taunting, they're there to complete a mission. He's not there to monologue, he's there to kill you. So bring your A-game, cause this guy means business. Thumbs up. The action was well done. Somebody's been watching Bourne Ultimatum, cause that's how you film a car chase. One of my favorite parts in this movie, other than Captain America fighting a ship full of pirates. What? You'll have to see the movie, but I love Nick Fury's car chase scene. It was fast, full of tension, filmed beautifully, fun, and had some elements of humor that didn't detract from the tension. I still hope Nick Fury made it out the situation alive. Thumbs up. Speaking of humor, it was placed perfectly. Before things got too dark, they still reminded you, hey, this is still the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you want funny and tension-killing comedy, go watch Iron Man 3. Ooh, face! Superb job. Black Widow kicks butt and she's freaking sexy, and she doesn't have to be half naked to do so. Take note, comic book writers. Strong, tough, Smart, confident women make sexy heroines, and if she knows how to fight, she is a goddess among women. I'm also glad to see a woman not get outstaged from a male character. She's equal to everyone in the movie. Heck, she doesn't even have a love interest. She has her own agenda. She has work to do. Love is the last thing on her mind, much like Captain America. I say, let's see more women kick butt. Divergent, Hunger Games, Underworld, Kill Bill, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Alien. Let's get some more women out there to get their own movies with great writers and directors, of course. I'll be first in line to see a Black Widow movie. And I also want to see a good, strong Amazon of a woman, Wonder Woman, in her own movie. No! That's better. Let's also get some other ethnicities in major roles, equal roles. I love how Falcon was used in this movie. He was needed and was awesome, unlike other movies. Thumbs up. Now let's talk about what didn't work. It gets rocky at some points in this movie and it breaks the flow and tone of the flick. It goes back to that old Captain America movie vibe where you turn off your brain, say screw it and just ride with it. There's a point in this movie where a character from the first movie puts his consciousness into a computer program whose sole purpose was to provide exposition of backstory. That's it. Even though it was explained, it was stupid and unnecessary. I mean, there was a character that Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon had to interrogate. Why not get this exposition dumped from this guy they captured? Either through fear or truth serum. Something, just why a computer consciousness? It's just shoehorned in there and never brought up again. And there are some situations where exposition is just dumped for the sake of exposition. We, as an audience, are told what is what and who is who without us having to discover things ourselves or see how things unfold in a sensible way. Like, for example, in one scene, Captain America comes to a revelation of who really is and is like, hey, and is like, who the heck is, and then just runs away. So obviously the first thing that came to my head was, oh, he has amnesia. But then several minutes later, we are shown that does know Captain America and is stunned that he does know him and asks questions about it. That scene alone would translate that this character has amnesia and is confused. Not every situation has to be filled with exposition. Let it flow into the story or you end up like this.
Susan! My name is Julie. My mother's name was Susan. She was killed in a car accident with my father and they're both dead.
And this movie is dated now. To make a movie timeless, you don't put any trends or brands in the flick. And what does this movie do? Twitter. This movie's all like, if anyone tweets about this situation, I want to know about it. Really? Oh, this situation is trending worldwide. Screw Twitter. Give it 8 more years and people will watch this movie and not know what it's even talking about. What is Twitter? Might as well put in MySpace in the movie. What's up? I'm Captain America. You can catch me on MySpace. Show love on my page. I'm popular. Overall, I love this movie. It's fun, tense, each character is well written and likable. The threats are threatening. The action is packed. The tone of the movie treads a fine line of realism and fantasy. The villain makes sense. Heck, I even love that a character from the first Captain America movie returns and is not killed off like in every movie would have done. We get to see the outcome of Captain America being frozen for years only to be thawed in modern time. It was a touching scene. I love the teamwork that was being used in the movie, hero and villain side. I love the idea behind the story that had a worldwide consequence and not just contained in New York. I don't even care for politics, but I love the politics that were being brought up in this film. Hopefully this sets a new standard for Marvel superhero movies. I know it did for me. The standard is now set. And after seeing this movie, I'll have to give this movie a solid A-.
This movie was directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, the guys who directed You, Me and Dupree.